Alright, here I am talking about the quests that you can do that will give these characters new abilities. And there's actually quite some really awesome effects going on here, but I still have my issues with certain things. Mostly comes off as the same as the other video. I don't actually have Sylvia. I already coined her. I was going to put her up there, but can't do that if she doesn't exist for me anymore. Hers was pretty generic. It was just 30% damage boost, I believe, for attack and magic. Perfectly fine. In fact, it's probably one of the better ones considering one of the other characters in this list. Roy we'll talk about real quick. Roy's is pretty awesome. You're pretty much going to use this no matter what you're doing with the character, and you'll notice mine is 6-star. And realistically, he's going to stay 6-star, and here's why. Due to the way quest, whatever one you get, like a passive or a skill, works, is it's level 1, 5-star. So I don't need to get this character to 7-star to make him at his most useful. Quite honestly, if you're going to use this character, you're going to use this skill all the time, when you can. I mean, it does everything you want. It's a nice buff. It's a great debuff. As far as I know, when you sing, you just keep reapplying the effect anyway, so if they get rid of it themselves, it's still going to work just great. It's the same issue as before, though, with like a 10-man. It'll lock you into place, so you gotta watch out for that. But besides that and everything else, it's great. Does everything you want, everything you need. This is just a kit issue, though there is a nice way to chain this, because all you do is use Passage, Return of the Hero. It's 5 turns, you're going to get an LB. So you LB, then you use a Draconic Reverberation, and you just keep doing that forever and ever and ever until you get your cooldown again. That would be his optimal setup. The big issue here is it pretty much wipes out the rest of his kit. There's not much point to really use like Victory of the Brave or anything else that builds up to any of this. There just isn't. You have a better option. You just do this, and then you go to LB, and then you do the LB ability. It kind of makes the rest of his kit just redundant. It's bad design in that regard, but I mean, this is greatly appreciated. Just kind of sucks that it ignores the rest of his kit, like literally. Like he doesn't use anything in his kit. He does LB and then he does that skill. Aileen, you're going to want to use her skill, even though it has a lower modifier. If you decided to use Piledriver +2, the biggest problem with this isn't the damage, really. It's that they completely gave up on any support with it. There's only like a couple 5-stars that even like attempt to even chain with this anymore, and one of it is herself and Explorer. The other two are Dragoon Kane and Zighard, who is a tank, so you could do it with him, but more than likely the reason you stop using her is because there's like no support for this character. But now she works with Stardust Ray. The issue I have with it is that, well, basically it's just a copy and paste of her other skill. This one will do, it's not going to technically do more damage, it just has a higher modifier. And the reason it's not going to do more is the chain is less, and this one is a 9-1. So the big burst damage is going to be at the end of the chain. Plus it has a little bit more on earth resistance reduction. This kind of sucks because, one, they kept it purposely low. I don't know why. They gave it a slightly better chaining family, but it's still like a very niche chaining family. If anything, it's actually kind of more niche because this one doesn't even include 4-stars. You need very specific 5-stars. The very best one I'd probably say for more free players if they get the character is Chocobo Rain. But beyond that, you're going to need one of these other 5-stars. So if you don't have those, it's a very niche chaining family. If they wanted to keep this low and all that other blah blah blah, they could have at least gave it a more versatile chaining family so she could actually work with more characters. They don't do that. And overall, the design of it is pretty lazy because it's literally the same skill right here. Just a little bit of increases here and there. And if you're looking at this and you're going, no, that one's more powerful, what are you, blind? No, she actually gets a modifier increase right here of 1.2. So it's actually more powerful in mod, but it's going to do less damage because this is throughout, and this one is a burst at the end. It's just sad that instead of being like a 10x or a better chaining family, it's just really short-changed. Roy obviously gets the best results here. I've already mentioned how it's just kind of awkward because it doesn't really blend with the rest of his kit, and it basically wants you to ignore the rest of his kit, and I recommend doing it. It actually gives them a lot of value. And obviously you should do all of them, because even if you don't use any of these characters, you still get free Lapis at the end. I just wanted to point out that this is really lazy, just like I did in the previous one. I guess I could bring that up too, because I just remembered about it and noticed it. Earth resistance is at the end, it's not in front. They should get better at this, should be on top, not on the bottom, but at least it's not a cooldown skill, so it's only ineffective once in that regard. It's not as bad. But in Genuine, it's okay. It's always nice to have a better chaining family, especially when you purposely go out of your way to kill off Piledriver, pretty much. I mean, there's no support pretty much from any other character, and I don't think they're ever going to do such a thing. So it's nice to have this, even though it's also a very niche, just low chaining skill. That's all I had to say about it. Definitely not as bad as the enhancements were in that general regard. Just noticed it, thought I'd mention it. See you later. Have a good one.